Baba is asking us, directing us to give every soul the Father's introduction, not God's introduction, but the introduction of God the Father. And in the Murli, Baba says that you have always called out to me as the Supreme Father, and I am your Father, the Father of you, the soul. And today in the Murli, Baba is urging every one of us to give every soul the introduction of their Father. So first, every soul needs to know that you're basically a soul. And then this is your Father and He is here. And then Baba says that when the soul knows me, the Father, then I will pull that soul out of the quicksand of Ravan. So Baba today says that sweet children, make effort to rescue human beings who have forgotten the Father and become trapped in the quicksand. What is quicksand? What we call daldal in Hindi. So, something that if you step once, you keep getting pulled into it. So Baba says the vices are a quicksand and everybody is trapped in that. And do you know that it requires great strength to pull somebody out of quicksand? And the chances are that if somebody is trying to pull another one out of a quicksand, the other one will get pulled into it. But Baba says, I can pull everybody out of the quicksand, but only when the child understands that I am the Father, and in that trust surrenders to me. Because you see, if somebody has to pull somebody out of the quicksand, then the person in the quicksand has to, unconditionally surrender and give their hand. And only then it is possible to be pulled out. So Baba says, tell every soul, give the introduction of the Father. And when they surrender to me, I will be able to pull them out of the quicksand. And Baba says, you have to churn the ocean of knowledge and give everyone the Father's introduction. How you will give the introduction is up to you. Baba says, I'm giving you everything. I'm giving you the knowledge, the love, the sustenance, everything I'm giving you. But now it is your duty to churn the ocean of knowledge and come up with methods to give the introduction of the Father in such a way that the souls realize this is my Father. And I was today thinking about this thing that Baba says about Baba as a father. And I will tell you one thing, that there are many types of Brahmins that we see in this journey. And yesterday there was a question answer session, and then there was also this question that I am losing interest in Gyan. Yes, so there was somebody who was saying that I am losing interest in Gyan. And then I was just thinking, you see, that why does somebody lose interest in Gyan? Because they have no interest in the source of the Gyan. So it's not the Gyan, it's the source of the Gyan. It's the Father that we need to have a relationship with. But what happens is that we have lived a long life in Kali Yuga, and we have those sanskars, of just reading the scriptures and begging from from God. So what we did is we just read the scriptures, did nothing, and we kept praying and begging to God. That is what we did in the bhakti. So the relationship with the teaching was study it, don't do anything about it. Yes? And the relationship with the teacher was just beg to the teacher. Just keep, calling out to God to help you. And when we come in Gyan, we don't even know how many sanskars of bhakti we carry with us. And our sanskars keep working subconsciously. And then we keep doing the same thing here also. We read the Murli, we understand this is the truth, this is false, this is what we need to do, that we don't need to do. But we don't mend our ways. We don't change our attitude. We just read the Murli, don't apply anything. And the second thing we do is, our relationship with Baba stays the same. Like we did in Bhakti, just keep praying and begging. We also keep praying and begging to Baba. So the relationship with the teaching and the teacher is directly imported from Bhakti. So Baba says that this is a new Gyan. This is a new life, this is a new path. Baba says, I have never come. All you did in Dwapar Yuga and Kali Yuga was only to make you fall. And now what I am teaching you is new, different, and you have to act differently with it, work differently with it. But I don't know whether we get it. So what do we have to do with the teaching? Teaching is, Baba says there are 3 steps: knowing, believing, and living by it. Janna, manna, and chalna. So I have to know what Baba says, I have to believe what Baba says, and then I have to act according to it. And with the teacher, Baba says, you have to surrender to me. You don't have to just keep praying and begging to me, but you have to surrender your mind, your buddhi, your life to me. And Baba says, only when you do this difference comes. So, whenever you have a thought, that thought should be based on Baba's words. That is called surrender. So Baba says, it's not like you keep maintaining your body conscious personality and then you keep praying and begging to me. That is not going to work. You have to surrender to me. Surrender your buddhi, surrender your mind, surrender your sanskars, surrender your karam, your life to me. And what does surrendering to Baba mean? Again, in bhakti, surrendering means not going to work. That's it. So surrendering means if a student surrenders, he doesn't go to school from tomorrow. If a grihasthi surrenders, they don't live in the household anymore. If a working person surrenders, then they leave the job. That's all in bhakti. But Baba says, here surrender is not about that. Surrendering means you surrender your mind. Surrender your mind means you cannot take a thought based on your own belief systems. You have to think like me. You have to surrender your buddhi. So your buddhi cannot go anywhere into the world except me. If you surrender your sanskars, that means whatever you said, this is my nature, my habit, you surrender all of that and you accept my sanskars as your sanskars. You accept that my Baba is loveful, the ocean of love, so I am also loveful. Baba is Kalyankari, the world benefactor. I am also the master world benefactor. So you surrender whatever you thought was I and mine and belong to Baba. Earlier you thought you had a limited purpose. Now you surrender that and take this unlimited purpose from me. So Baba says this is how you have to surrender your old food habits, your old lifestyle, and take up the lifestyle, the food habits, the everything that I give you. And Baba says, I'm not here like, you did bhakti. In bhakti you got nothing. But here I am the Father and I am giving you the inheritance of 21 births. And that you will receive. But when you accept me as the Father, when you surrender, and your relationship with the teachings is that you live by it. But you know what? We don't understand this new context. And then we keep operating in the old ways. And this is why, we don't, because we are not walking on this path as the path needs, as the path directs. That is why sometimes, there is a tendency to lose interest in the path. And then Baba today says that tell every soul that this is your Father. And do you know that when, have you seen somebody who doesn't have a physical father and then somebody who has a physical father? So obviously everybody has a physical father, but they don't know their physical father. So somebody who had, so their father died or separated or that way. So when you look at their personality, there are so many things missing, and you can trace all of it back to that absence of the father. Yes. And in this Kali Yuga, the opposite is also possible, that there are so many things missing and you can trace it back to the presence of a father because the father was imperfect. So that is the Lokik world. But you see that the relationship of a father and a child is very important, because this child is like the father. And I will tell you one thing, that there are many times there are people who come and complain about their parents. So their children 17 years of age, 20 years of age, 40 years of age, 60 years of age, who complain about their parents. And then they say that my parents had this habit, and especially the father. It is always the father, not the mother. So it is usually like that. I don't know why, but it is like that. So they say that my father was like this and I hated it and I didn't like it, and I don't know why I had this kind of a father. And they would complain and just go on. And then whenever I have tried to look deeply into the personality of that soul, I have seen those same traces that they complain about. So if a child is complaining about their father being anxious and they having suffered from their anxiety, it's after some observation you will realize that the child has the same tendency and intensity of anxiety as the father. Although they hate the father, but they become like the father. That's the interesting thing. Now Baba says that this is the relationship between a Lokik father and child also, that once you accept, and why is it that a father is able to have such an influence on the child? Because of this relationship of surrender. So you surrender to parents, teachers and gurus, right? So this is why Baba, when he comes, he says, I am your Baap, teacher and Satguru. Why? Because this is, in the Lokik world, these are the only relationships you surrender to. And Baba says that now you have to understand that through surrender, you totally incorporate whatever they have in them and you become like them. And now Baba says that you have to realize that every soul in the world is calling out to the Supreme Father. And I am the Father. And I am the one who you have called out as the Father. And I am the one who is the Father. And now I have come. And now you have to surrender to me. Surrender your man buddhi, so totally belong with your heart to me, and surrender your life, do as I say, and then I will make you the king of heaven, which means I will give you the inheritance for 21 births. And Baba says that when you look at me like a father, so when you listen to the Murli, do you understand that it is your father talking to you? It is your father giving you directions. And so you see that when we talk about a father, so we get a sense of identity. So a father gives identity, then a father gives provision, sustenance, right? And then a father gives, understanding, because understanding of what is what, who is who, it's given by the father always. A father gives direction, a father gives purpose, yes, and when you belong to the father, he gives you inheritance. So when you take whatever the father gives you, then you become eligible for the inheritance. If you don't take the sense of purpose from the father or direction, or you don't understand, you're not on the same page with the father, then your inheritance is obstructed, is it not? The father will say, I will not give you anything because you're not a good child to me. So here also, knowing Baba and knowing that this Baba is the father of my soul. So I the soul, not my soul, I the soul, and this is my Baba. When I get it, when it enters my buddhi, then I realize who I am. And do you understand that because Baba was not there, we were moving without a sense of identity. We did not know ourselves. Yes, so we were working with the physical identity, the perishable and changeable identity, and that is why there was so much of uncertainty in our life. So we worked with the physical labels and titles and this and that. But now Baba is giving me my permanent identity of who I am, what am I like. And when I get that, then there is a deep sense of self, there is self-esteem in it. And this self-esteem gives you a lot of solidarity of character. So, earlier we were we were dependent on perishable and changeable labels and titles. So they were making us dance. Yes, they were making us dance to their tune. But now I know who I am despite everything physical, and then I can, make the labels and titles dance to my tune. So Baba says, I give you a sense of identity about who you are as a soul, what your qualities are as a soul, what your form is, how are you, you're imperishable, nobody can hurt you, break your spirit without your permission. But only when you belong to the Father will you understand these things, and they will sit in your intellect. Yes, so when you understand this is my Baba and he's giving me my identity, and I'm that. So have you seen a 2-year-old child saying that, telling his father that the name you're giving me and the surname you're giving me is not right? No, they take that because they don't know themselves. They surrender to the Father to tell them who they are. And Baba says, I am your Father, and when I give you your identity, you take that. You don't tell me, no, I am not this, I am this. No. When I tell you, you are a soul, you are an imperishable soul, you are a soul who is the master of the senses. When I tell you that you are a soul who is the master ocean of knowledge, peace, purity, you accept that. And when you accept that, that acceptance gives you power. So, when Baba says, Man Mana Bhav, connect your mind to me, it means that whenever the Father speaks, I accept what he tells me about myself, the universe, the purpose, everything with total conviction. And when I accept all of that with total conviction and take it up as the truth and start working with it, then it gives me a lot of power. That is why Man Mana Bhav will lead you to take the inheritance. So this sense of identity Baba gives us. Then the second thing Baba gives us is sustenance. So the soul takes, just like the physical father gives the sustenance for the physical body. So he'll give you the food, the water, the shelter that you need. Similarly, the soul needs the knowledge, the purity, the peace, the love, and Baba gives all of that to us. But then, how does the Father give everything to you, physical Father? When you belong to Him. Yes? If you want to live in a separate house, can He give you shelter? No. He gives you shelter when you live with Him. So Baba says, you have to belong to me. And as a soul, you cannot physically belong to me. You have to belong to me through the Man Buddhi Sanskar. So when you surrender your Man Buddhi Sanskar to me, when you only think the thoughts that I ask you to think, when you only take your attention to me and not let it wander in the world, when your buddhi is focused only on me, and when you accept my sanskars as your sanskars, then you get the sustenance, you get the love, peace, everything through this method, through surrendering to Baba. So all your qualities were lost because you started allowing your man and buddhi to wander on the dictates of Ravan. But now when you surrender to me with your man buddhi sanskar, then you will be filled with the virtues that you lost. And Baba says, this is the method with which I give you sustenance, and there is no other father. So nobody else will do it for us. It is only Baba who does it, and we take the sustenance or we don't take the sustenance. But the thing is, Baba does it, and Baba does it only now. It is now or never. If we don't take the sustenance now, then it is now or never. And then the third thing that Baba gives is, he gives us direction. Yes, he gives us a purpose, a direction. And you see that, have you seen somebody who has a purpose and a direction, and it is very difficult to manipulate them into other directions? Yes, so when somebody has gone shopping and they know exactly what they've come to buy, then what happens? They straight walk into that counter, take that thing and go away. But when somebody doesn't know what they have come for, and they say that let's see, we'll go shopping and see what can be bought, then usually they end up buying the wrong thing, because there will be many people around who will look at your eyes and figure out that you don't have a sense of purpose, and they will then try to drive you into buying their stuff. And then you will most probably, because of the attraction, the advertisement, you will end up spending your money where it was not needed, where you didn't want to spend it. Now, this is the importance of direction and purpose. And Baba has given us one law. The law is, as is your aim, so is your qualification. Lakshya se lakshan aate hain. Yes, so if somebody doesn't have an aim, if the soul doesn't have a purpose or direction, then it is very difficult for the soul to have virtues. And this is why Baba gives us a sense of purpose. And do you remember in yesterday's Murli, Baba said, in every day, have the aim, have the purpose to give blessings and take blessings. Yes, so every day Baba gives a sense of purpose. So Baba has given us so many things. Today Baba is asking us to be a pure Vaishnav. And what is a pure Vaishnav? Baba defines it for us. So every day in the Murli, Baba is, so our final aim obviously is to be a deity, but every day also Baba gives a goal to us. Not just the aim, but every day's goal also Baba gives to us. Now let's work with what Baba said yesterday. Let's take the example that Baba said that, every day have the goal that I have to take blessings and give blessings. Now you see, when you are focused on the goal, then anything that comes in between you and the goal looks like a challenge, not a problem. Yes, and you are not daunted by it, but you are challenged by it to overcome it. That's beautiful about it. And Baba says, what is your purpose? Give blessings anyway, right? So even if somebody is at their worst behavior, somebody is using the words you've never heard, when you have that sense of purpose that I am a deity soul, I am the child of the master bestower, so I just have to give blessings, then you will be able to give blessings come what may. And then their behavior, their rude words will not be able to stop you from creating good karma. But if you don't have a purpose, if you don't have a sense of, what is your aim in the day, then what happens? Any behavior, anything that happens will kind of become a reason for you to engage in negative thoughts, in waste words and behavior. So Baba says that this is the importance of the sense of purpose. Now, in the world, we never have a sense of spiritual purpose every day. So the body has a name, your ego has a name. Yes, your ego has a name, is it not? So your ego has to be inflated up to this. So you have to reach up to this position and this label, and only then your ego will be satiated. So your ego has a name, your body has a name, everything has a name, but you don't have a name. And that's why your man and buddhi have no direction. No purpose, no direction. So they go into the direction the situation pulls them. You start thinking what the situation asks you to think. You start getting attached to or focused on wherever your buddhi is being pulled by the situation. And this is why Baba says, I am giving you, the soul, the purpose. So Baba said that one thing is you only give blessings, and when you take this as your purpose, then any behavior, any conduct on anybody's part will not be able to move you into creating bad karma. And then the second thing is take blessings. So Baba says, you know, when somebody gives you something, so what do you take? Do you take what they give you, or do you take what you want to take from them? So in any case, you see that when somebody is giving you something, you take according to your sanskar. Yes? Have you seen that when you are in a situation and there is another person also in that situation, and let's say, you know, there are these haunted houses, and then people go and have adventure there. So let's say two people go into the haunted house. One person has this thought that it is so entertaining, and they are getting entertained with every attack. And then the other person, his heart is sinking because it's always what you want to take from the situation and what your sanskar is, which allows you to take that from the situation. Now Baba says, even if somebody gives you a comment, you take a compliment. Even if somebody is giving you the opposite of blessings, you take the blessings. How do you take the blessings? Baba gave an example also yesterday. That if somebody says that, you know, if somebody is hurling words at you in an angry manner, then you understand that in those words they are basically saying that I am powerful, but you are the master ocean of power. That is why I am able to behave like this with you. So Baba says, when you have this sense of purpose, then the situations will not be able to affect you. And Baba is the only one who gives the soul the identity, the sustenance, the purpose, the direction, everything. And then Baba says that people in the world say that God spoke the Gita, and because of the Gita, the flames of destruction, they emerged. But because they don't know who God is, and when He spoke the Gita, that is why they are not able to have that importance to the Murli. Now you see that people are reading the Gita every day. There are people who are reading the Gita every day also. But what are they reading? They are reading a scripture in which it is written what Sri Krishna spoke to Arjuna on a battlefield. Yes? Now, if you are reading a scripture which is about Sri Krishna speaking to Arjuna on a battlefield, and you are neither Krishna nor Arjuna nor on the battlefield, then is that scripture relatable to you? That is absolutely not relatable to you, because you are neither Krishna nor Arjuna nor on the battlefield. So this is why Baba says that it is very important that people understand that this is my Father, this is God, and God is my Father, and God is the sermonizer of the Gita, and the Gita is the scripture. And how does God speak the Gita? So not by sitting in Arjun's cart. He speaks the Gita by entering Brahma Baba's body. And when you tell this to everybody, that it's not a physical rath, it's not a physical chariot, it's the chariot of the body in which God sits and sermonizes the Gita. And the Gita is the Murli. And through the Murli, there is not only the deity religion which is established, but the Brahmin and the deity religion. So Baba says, I am God, I am the Father, and when you belong to me, and when you understand what I am trying to tell and imbibe it in your life, because you are on a battlefield, and this battlefield is metaphorical because Maya is always attacking you, and you are in this continuous battlefield with Maya. And until now, you were not raising your weapons, only Maya was attacking. It was a one-sided war. But now I have come and I am asking you to raise your weapons of knowledge and yoga. And I am urging you to wage war against Maya. And I am the one who has come, and I am the one who is speaking the Gita, and the Gita is the Murli. And when you listen to the Murli and when you do as I say, then you will change from a Shudra to a Brahmin. So that's the first establishment of religion. So the first religion that Baba establishes is the Brahman religion, the pure Brahman, which we had never heard of earlier. And then we will transition into a deity in Satyug. So Baba says, when you understand Baba, then you get so many things, and you get the fathers, you are no more an orphan, you are with the Father now. And then with the Father is not just the Father, he is also the sermonizer of Gita. He is also the one who you say, he is the establisher of the Rudra Gyan Yajna. So the flames of destruction are also coming. So when you understand that the Father is here, you understand the flames of destruction are also coming. And you understand that you have to get prepared before the time of destruction. So Baba says, knowing Baba, knowing the Father is the doorway to so many things. But we souls have to have a lot of interest in explaining to everybody that the Father is here and giving the Father's true introduction to every soul. And it's a very big punya karma to make orphan souls meet their parent, Father. Okay? Om Shanti.